Brian, welcome to Art San Diego 2015.
Thanks, Rick.
Again. And Brian, one of the things that happens when collectors or guests look at your work for the first time and they approach your work for the first time, there tends to be a question as to whether or not they're looking at, well, what medium they're looking at. Are they looking at watercolor? Are they looking at acrylic? Are they looking at photography? Because there really is what I perceive to be a deliberate intention on the artist's part to create a very special individual interpretation of the image. Help us understand the inspiration of this work.
I wish I could paint this well. It is photography, and I'm trying to create imagery that is more painterly, I guess you might say. I don't want, I've done a lot of photography in my life and taken many pretty pictures of wonderful places I've been, but they all started to kind of just be pretty pictures. And I wanted to create something that took me to places that were different, that were more dreamlike, more ethereal, less real, I guess you might say.
It seems to me, as a big fan of your work, that each one of these pieces could have a very personal meaning, a personal interpretation for the individual viewer.
Absolutely. I mean, they're all personal to me. And I think for each individual, as they look at them, it takes them to a place that they've been before, not necessarily where they think it was. These are all places from around the world that I've shot, and many people can relate to them, but in their own way. And it takes them to places that they want to go.
You know, I'm curious, and I've never asked you this before, but you name each one of the pieces. Where do the names come from?
Well, some of them are the actual locations, believe it or not. And some of them, it's a feeling that I have. As an example, the piece behind me, Sea of Tranquility, that's how it feels to me. So it wasn't a specific location name for that piece, but it was the feeling that came to me when I created the piece. You know,
I want to say that now, having known you for a while and appreciating your work the way I do, I think it's interesting to me that if I close my eyes and I take the time to not think about your exhibit, I tend to think about your exhibit in horizontals. I do. And yet, I know that you do verticals as well, and some very interesting verticals.
Yeah, the horizontals are fairly natural. They're very grounding. It's a natural thing for us to see that way. And I try to challenge myself by doing some verticals periodically. So, and they're interesting. They're a little bit more abstract, and they tend to create a different reaction with people than the horizontal pieces.
Yeah. Well, Brian, it's good to have you here. Every time we see you and your work, we're inspired, and I'm talking about now the members of the show, the team of the show. We love having you here, and welcome again to Art San Diego.
Thank you very much.